Welcome to the Go Pitch Win podcast, the show where entrepreneurs pitch their best business ideas to our industry leaders. Each week, one will move forward towards the grand prize, $10,000. One winner. So get ready. And now, here's your host, Greg Mercer.
Welcome to today's episode of Go Pitch Win. I'm your host, Greg Mercer, and today I am joined by guest judge Scott Volker. Scott is the founder and host of the Amazing Seller podcast, a top-ranked business show where he helps regular, everyday people start selling products that make money on Amazon.com and their own e-commerce stores. Scott has built and helped others build 6- and 7-figure brands selling physical products and has now taught and inspired thousands of new entrepreneurs through his take action approach. Scott, how's it going today?
It's going fantastic, man. I'm excited. This is going to be fun.
We are excited to hear this pitch. It is going to be fun, Scott, and I appreciate you coming on to help me judge this. So let's not waste any time. We have Rob and Ivana from NurtraBaby here today, pitching their product and business. Rob and Ivana, how are you guys doing?
Doing awesome, Greg. Thank you. It's been a really exciting month, being able to do this with you guys. And we just launched our first product exactly 2 weeks ago. So it's been a really exciting month for us.
With that being said, why don't you go ahead and jump into your pitch? Scott and I are anxious to hear it.
It's time for today's business idea.
Well, first I want to say, thank you to you guys, because whether you know it or not, Greg, Scott, you guys have been a really big part of our brand and helping us with this, because if it wasn't for you guys, we never really would have had the confidence to go and do any of this. We spent countless hours watching the $1 million case study videos and using Jungle Scout to get our first couple ideas. So you guys have been a really big part of this. So thank you both. This is our logo. Our brand is NurtraBaby. And what we're basically trying to do on Amazon, to give you an idea, is basically what Great Value kind of did with the local supermarket or your local Walmart, right? When you go into Walmart or the local supermarket, you go down the aisles, there's usually on every aisle, if there was a high demand product, a profitable product, there was usually always a product there from Great Value, competing with the other name brand products there. So the only difference is we're trying to not compete with the name brand products. I want to do products that people aren't buying based on brand name. I want to create the higher quality product. I'm not trying to really be at the lowest price or compete for the lowest price and having price wars to keep lowering the price. That's not what really we wanted to do. We wanted to make the products better, use higher quality material. We're trying to make the products safer. I think that's a big trend that's going on in the baby market, is people are being more aware of what kind of materials are going into the products, what kind of ingredients they have, and they want them to be safe for their children. I think that's a big trend we're witnessing. And we aren't really going to concentrate on just one product. We are going to be making different types of products. I'm not going to just concentrate on like diaper bags, for example. We want to create a lot of different products in the baby category. And basically, here's just a photo, for example. This is our Diaper Clutch Bag. And this is basically all the other diaper clutch bags on the market that look something like this. So we really wanted to make it better. We have vegan forks leather. We tried to make it more trendy looking. So we have a vegan forks leather handle. We have vegan forks leather closures. Instead of these like strap closures that look like something you might use to tie down something in the back of your pickup truck or to tow a car with. So we tried to make it way more trendy and fashionable. We decided if we were going to have, a leather handle like this, we really didn't need another handle to carry the bag. If one of them was going to be unnecessary, right? We went with an embossed leather logo here for our brand. And we really are just trying to improve upon every product. That's a question I ask myself whenever I decide to do something, is how can I make this better, or how can I add value? The diaper pad that folds out is BPA free. So it's safe. It's PIVA, polyester lining.
It's detachable.
It is removable. It has the front pocket. The buttons, we actually used magnetic buttons, because one of my concerns was, since it's not like an adjustable strap like all these other clutch bags are using, is it going to be able to close when full? So I had the factory test the length of it with full of diapers and full of, things in the pocket and full of wipes. It holds a 20 count wipes, like a travel wipes case. So I had them test the length of the closure, and we had magnetic buttons instead of regular buttons to keep it held closed. And here is the oval cutout, the inside pocket with the wipes case. So it holds like a 20 count wipes case that you can find, like a Wet Ones makes a lot of them. You can find these pretty much in the travel section of any Walmart or CVS or
the regular
Walgreens.
baby wipes will fit too.
Regular baby wipes, yeah. Yeah, if you have any kind of small travel case. And the mesh pocket is stretchable. It holds about 3 to 4 diapers or outfits.
Baby powders.
Baby powders, hand sanitizer, essential oils. The strap does have a button, so it's able to open and close and put on, say, a stroller, to strap on a stroller to carry it. And this weekend, we're really working on making some infographics pictures. I got a free software that's a lot like Photoshop. It's called GIMP. And I'm going to be using that to create some good infographics this weekend. This product we launched on the 16th. Mm-hmm. So it's been 2 weeks. The first thing I got really excited about, and thank you, Scott and Greg, you guys did a webinar on listing optimization not too long ago for the $1 million case study. The first thing I got really excited about the day it landed was the URL that we got, which was something like amazon.com/portable diaper changing pad clutch bag, which was like all our main keywords. It was awesome. So, that was a huge tip. Thank you for that. Next product, and where we're at right now is we're averaging about 4 sales a day. We have 2 reviews so far in our 2 weeks. We're still running our jump send promotion. We've sold about 30 units so far. So that's where we're at with this. We're still kind of in the red. We just started our PPC campaign, so we're a little bit in the red until we get some more reviews and I think some better pictures and they start converting a little better. But I'm happy to be getting some data from our PPC campaign and adding the keywords, the actual customer search terms. Okay, the next product I literally got an email yesterday. These are just ready to ship now from the factory. So these are going to be shipping, I think, right after Easter break. So this product is a baby amber teething necklace. And I was really excited about this product because this baby amber teething necklace has a huge demand, huge search volume. We knew right away that we were like, it's a little bit more of a riskier product to do because these products have a lot of reviews. They sell a ton of volume. So I knew going into it, it was a little bit riskier, but I knew I had to make it better in order to be able to compete. So I went with a premium packaging. It looks like a gift box. I'm going to market it as a gift set. I tried to think about how can I improve upon the product, but it's like, what can you do to improve a 100% amber stone? It's 100% amber. It can't, So it was more like, okay, how can I add value to it? And what we decided to do was pair it with a silicone teething necklace and sell it as a amber teething necklace with a bonus silicone necklace, for the mom to wear, because they're not supposed to chew the amber necklace. The babies aren't supposed to chew it. So if they really want to put something in their mouth, they have the silicone teething necklace. The amber teething necklace just works for them, just having it in contact with the skin. It releases succinic acid into the skin, which is like a very natural healing, natural pain relief, natural anti-inflammatory. It comes from the amber stone.
Yeah, it's sorted in Lithuania, so no.
I had to source it from Lithuania. That's where the stones come from, from the Baltic Sea. Yeah. So this was not, the packaging was made in China, but the amber stone comes from Lithuania. I originally thought we could just put the country of origin on the master cartons, but if you're shipping at DDP, you have to have the country of origin on the product. So I think next time we order them, we're going to have that in the actual packaging printed. But yeah, that was what the freight forwarder told me, is they really need to, if you're going to ship at DDP, delivery duties paid, you have to have it on the product and not just on the master carton. So that's a picture of the stickers holding, and it holds the case closed, which is nice. And I kind of took a picture or out of your book, Greg. We have also the cutout, which is less than 1 inch, so that they can see through to the amber. Here's a couple of different photos of it. So this is basically what it looks like. You can see the amber through the cutout. We got a nice baby sketch done from somebody on Fiverr. On the back, this is a photo of the dye line. On the back, it has a lot of safety information and more information on the product right on the back. I really wanted to be clear that it's not supposed to, how to use it, because most people think that the babies have to chew on it, but they don't. So I wanted that to be very clear and put out there. They could also wear it, like wrap it around like as a bracelet on the wrist or on the ankle as an anklet. This is what the insert looks like. So once they open the top of the box, they have a nice insert with the amber necklace displayed. Underneath the insert is the teething, the silicone necklace bonus. You have a carrying pouch, and you have a certificate of authenticity that tells a little more about the product and where the stones came from. So here's the carrying pouch with our logo. Very natural cotton. We're trying to really do like a natural brand, a lot of like natural healing, safe products. So I thought, 100% cotton would go well with that. Here's a lifestyle photo of a baby wearing an amber necklace. There's a lot of these on Shutterstock, so I don't know if I'm going to go and get a baby model. I think we're going to pull some of the nicer pictures that we found off of Shutterstock for our photos. And here's a picture of the certificate of authenticity that we made. So these are handmade in Lithuania. They are 100% authentic amber stones, which we did test. You have to test them by seeing if they float in salt water and they sink in regular water. And also UV light tests to see how they glow under the UV light to make sure that it's really 100% amber. The silicone necklace is food grade, is BPA free, non-toxic. And it's really natural healing. Here's another picture of the silicone necklace. I really love this product because it was, I think, a huge, like I said, increase in the trend of people that are just looking for like natural healing products as opposed to using things like oral pain relievers or things that you might, chemicals, things that you might find in a local pharmacy to help deal with real problems like teething babies. That's what we're trying to do with our products. I'm trying to help solve the problems that new mothers deal with on a day-to-day basis, like finding a clean place to change their baby. You know what I mean? So I wanted to do a changing pad. I really feel like that's kind of like a must-have, and that's what I'm trying to focus on. I'm trying not to do the items that are maybe considered a luxury. I want to focus on like the essentials. Like you're going to need a crib. You're going to need crib sheets. You're going to need you're going to need burp cloths. You're going to need changing pads. You're going to need a place to put the baby to change it on. So those are the kind of products that I'm looking to come out with. This is a photo of my competitor's product. So this is probably my closest competitor, Powell's Owls, which I watched go from nothing when they just launched. They had no reviews to probably the top listing for amber teething necklaces. And the reason why they did that, I think, is because they were able to add value by adding a silicone teething necklace with the amber teething necklace to kind of package it. And this one, I really think our silicone teething necklace is a lot better. This is maybe a 25-cent, teething necklace. For the silicone, ours is more like $1 and just like a nicer design. I thought we did a better job with the packaging. So I really think we can really compete with them. That's the amber teething necklace. That's set to launch in maybe like a week or two. Those are the two products that we currently have. I want to talk a little bit about, these are the products that we're asking for the $10,000 in funding for. So what I wanted to show you was the baby burp cloths really was the top of the list. I'm going to show you a little bit of our research that we did, and then I'll show you the pictures. Using a couple of different tools between Jungle Scout, we used Merchant Words. I had a Google AdWords account as well, so I have some Google keyword tool data here. I used Scope too, I used a couple of different tools to compile this. But we basically went through about 70 different keywords and products in the baby category, because we're really just trying to focus on that one niche and that one target market. And when we analyzed everything, we were looking at the estimated keyword search, how many sales are in the top 10 listings in Amazon added up total, whether or not those sales are evenly kind of distributed rather than like one or two products that are just killing it and the rest of them are kind of mediocre. We were looking at the average sale price, because we're really trying to keep all our products at around the $19.99 mark. We are looking at the amount of reviews that are in the top 10, how many are under 100, the estimated price per piece, the shipping size. We wanted to make sure everything we do for now fits in a shoebox and that it was going to be under £1. So when we did this, what came to the top of the list, and it was so surprising, Greg, it was the baby burp cloths. So we decided we want to do a 5-pack to get it up to that price range that we want to be at the maybe $19.99 mark. So we thought we would have to do about 5 pieces to be at that range. This got an estimated keyword search of about 203,000 just for burp cloths. The estimated sales in the top 10 listings were about 14,000 sales just from the top 10. And there were 4 of them that were under 100 reviews. So, I mean, this is something we never would have thought of on our own if it wasn't for, Jungle Scout. So it was, Jungle Scout really has really made our business easier, because before that it was pretty challenging to find the profitable products or the products that would be worth launching. Another thing that we wanted to do, which we tried to do before, is a car seat cover. A baby car seat cover. The ones that we tried to do before, we got samples and they were just extremely low quality. There were a lot of loose hanging threads. The zippers were really hard to pull up and down. The buttons were really hard to get on and off. And so we felt like we were struggling with it so much that we were ripping the fabric, and we just didn't decide to move forward with that product. But now I do have a different supplier and a different sample that I think is going to work much better. With the baby burp cloths, we wanted to start out with a contoured design that would go around the neck. So it would look something like this. And they're going to be about 22 inches by 10 inches. We want to do a 3-layer. So it's going to be bamboo cotton on the outside and then a fleece on the inside. That would make it absorbative, right? So highly absorbative, fleece on the inside, bamboo cotton on the outside to make it safe. And we wanted to do, a lot of people seem to be like, what do they want, a square design or they want a contour design? So we kind of decided to do maybe something like both, right? So you get a contour on one side to go around the neck and the rest of it's square. This way there's not space missing, on the shoulder that the baby could get. That's that. And let me show you the car seat cover. It has a built-in mosquito net. It has the peekaboo window. This way you could see the baby. I think I'm going to do the magnetic buttons again, like the same magnetic buttons that we used for the clutch bag. Has a stretchable 97% cotton, 3% spandex material. It does fold into a carrying pouch. Has a nice stitching design. So this is a little thicker than maybe what our main competitor has. So this might be better for all seasons. Good in the winter, good in the summer with the mosquito net and the window. So it's breathable, but it's a little bit thicker. One of the skills or one of the things we realized when we did a Shopify store, we were drop shipping from AliExpress, which I think it's kind of dead because nobody wants to wait like 12 to 25 days for their product to come from China. But we did get a lot of really experience on how to push traffic to a site using things like Instagram and Facebook. And we knew that for our next market, we really wanted something that was going to be easily targetable on those channels, which is why we decided to go with babies, because one, we're dealing with a population explosion. The population is exploding exponentially, so there's more and more babies every year.
Well, we're in our 30s, so when you go on Facebook, all you see is babies and babies.
All our friends.
So I thought that's a good niche.
So we get some great feedback from them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of.
And I when somebody on Facebook is having a baby and they post that, Facebook knows who has newborns, who has a 1-year-old, who's an expecting mother. So it just seemed like a very easily targetable niche. And we plan on growing our brand beyond Amazon. We really want to open up our own Shopify store on NurtraBaby.com. We want to connect it with Etsy and eBay. We're building a brand and building a business and something that's going to be sellable and growable. A little bit about our background. I'm working right now at a medical school. I'm an admissions representative. Ivana's a full-time student.
Yeah, I study web development. Because the point is just to work online because, as we said, we want to travel. We bought a travel trailer. And my family is back in Europe, so I really can't have just 2 weeks vacation like most of the Americans have. I need to be able to go there and spend maybe whole summer.
Yeah, I think it's pretty cool that you're going into a market, into a niche, and I think it's a great idea. I think you're off to a really good start. My question was, and I was writing some notes here, is, this is a very competitive space, as you know, which is a lot of opportunity as well. Is there anything else that you're thinking of other than just launching this? I know you said Shopify and you said all that stuff. Do you have a plan in place to actually grow this, but also I guess spread a mission or a story of some kind? Because I think this right here, I recently watched a Shark Tank episode where this couple was actually launching, I think it was like a wrap of some kind, and they created it for their own child, and then they shared that story. Their Instagram blew up, and voila, they got a brand and a story. So I guess my question is where do you weave a mission and a story into this that can help you grow? Is that going to be part of it? Are you gonna have a face to the brand? Those are just some questions that I had right away.
Good question. Yeah, we do. We really want to grow it beyond Shopify. Beyond Amazon. I'm really just using Amazon as a launching pad because it was just good to put the listing up and get some original sales and reviews. We're right now, since we only have 2 products, we haven't started that yet because right now I just feel like I have a product and not a brand yet. We're waiting till we have more of a product line. So that's why we really want this help to get to the 4 product mark where we can start building on other channels. And we're going to use shipmonk.com or a company like that, which works a lot like FBA. So they basically will be your warehouse. They will handle all your orders. You can easily connect it with Shopify with the software. There's a lot of other companies that do similar things. But yeah, so we really want to grow onto other channels and get into retail stores if possible. And our mission is really just to make products that make mothers' lives easier and solve problems.
I guess the other quick question, real quick, Greg, is and I'm kind of listening to you've already launched that one product and you've got 4 sales a day with, I think you said 4 reviews, something around there, 30 units so far. You're doing some type of giveaway. Why do you think that's, to me, that's kind of low? Why do you think that that's it's 2 weeks? Why haven't you reached out to influencers and stuff in that space and try to get 100 out the door? I'm just wondering why, why are you stuck right there? And the reason why I'm asking that is because I'm looking at all of these other products that I don't want you to go in this one direction where you want to launch all the products and then everything kind of doesn't get the attention that it deserves. I think every product needs to have a ton of push to get it out of the gate. So that way there you get sales and you get that momentum. Because like I said, in this space, you're going to need that bump.
Yeah, we still don't have the very professional photos, so I think that's a little downside to it.
Okay.
Live pictures outside with the baby, so I think that's what we're working on this weekend. And also we had a little problem with the jump scent. We had a problem with the code, so we had a lot of customers who emailed us back that, hey, the code didn't work, so we're working on that because I think that was a real problem because when somebody is ready to buy, they want to buy now. They don't want to wait till you sort some kind of problem. So I think we lost some sales over that. So.
I think we fixed it now, though. I haven't had an email that the codes weren't working in a little bit. Also, the photos are. It's been challenging to find a photographer that can get baby models. So now I think we're just gonna kind of, I don't want to say settle, but we're gonna just maybe try to Photoshop a baby because it's been hard to find photographers that can work with baby models or even find baby models.
How much money have you guys invested in this business so far?
9,000.
First was like 5 and it's like 4.
Okay.
So the way that we funded it, we funded the diaper clutch bag with one of Ivana's credit cards. When my mother passed away in October, we had a small annuity from her life insurance. So that's how we funded the amber teething necklace, because I think she was always very supportive of me as a entrepreneur and all my endeavors. So she, I think she would have been happy to be a part of it.
And how much time are you guys spending on the business right now? It sounds like, Rob, you're working a full-time job. Ivana's a full-time student. It's just kind of like every night you're working on this. You feel like you don't have enough time. Give me a little more insight there.
I never feel like I have enough time. But you know what? I spend most of the time at my job waiting for somebody to pick up the phone. So I'm doing my product research. I'm doing, a lot of different things. So
it's a great job he had.
Well, I mean, we joke about it on the Jungle Scout videos, right? Because Yen will be typing, "Hey, who's at work right now? Watching Jungle Scout," and we're like, "Oh yeah, me."
Yeah, and I have a lot of time now. I'm graduating in May, so I'm gonna have way more time. But yeah, I'm home all day. I'm online student, so I really have a lot of time, to spread just the work and the school. So.
And then what's like more of like your long-term vision? Is the vision, to grow this business to the point that you guys can both focus on this full time, or is this always kind of more of like a side hustle type vision? Or give me a little more insight there.
Definitely full time. As we buy this trailer, we really want to take off and be able to, make enough money to support all this lifestyle that we don't really have to work and we can enjoy the travel. Because that's the reason I came into this country, to travel. And I really wanted it to happen before we settle down and have babies of our own. So
we really went all in, and we really felt like this was going to provide us that freedom that we were craving, to see the things that we want to see and be able to still work.
It was a scary move, but we were like, if we're gonna just push it away, it's never gonna happen. So we just went all in. And now we're in the trailer.
The long-term vision, I don't even think, I don't know if would maybe want to sell it in the future, but honestly, I really want to build a brand. I want to really be behind something. I want to feel like I have a purpose. I want to stand by my mission statement, and I want to keep, developing products that I'd like to be the next, I don't know. I'd like to be as well known as Gerber. I would.
For those listening, I know a little bit about you guys' background because I saw it in the application video, but I think there's a pretty fascinating thing. So give the listeners a little bit of insight about how, like your background or how you ended up in the RV or travel trailer.
I came to US, 5 years ago, 6, as an au pair, just to travel. I just finished my bachelor degree, so I was like, before I settled down and really, jump into working full-time forever, I really want to enjoy a year of vacation and go travel. So I came to United States and I met my husband, and that's kind of my traveling end up, because we got married. And we started working, and I never gave up on that idea that we one day we actually going to be able to travel and go to see my family, maybe go to Thailand, do all that kind of stuff. And then we started these ideas like buying a bulk and selling on eBay, which I was like, not a fan of when big, huge box arrive in the middle of your living room. It's just not a great situation to have. And it didn't really work well because it took us like a year to sell that one box.
On eBay,
So we pretty quickly find out that that's not going to work. And then we came up with the idea with Shopify, which also wasn't the great thing. We didn't really convert a lot of, And that's where you came into place. And he was like, I found this great video, and we started binging on it. And then I was like, we're spending so much money in rent, and I really want to buy a trailer and do, go see all the country right here, because there's so much beauty just in here. We don't have to go to Thailand first, right? So our lease was up.
That's what we were thinking. We were thinking like Bali, Thailand, Costa Rica. We looked into all that.
No, we have 2 dogs, so it's a little
so flying
tough.
was a little out of the question.
Yeah.
So.
And our lease was up, and we were like, okay, now we get some cash, and we should just do it. We buy the trailer, and
this is fun. We have like little campfires every night. We got our Jungle Scouts jungle sticks. We've been roasting kielbases and like hot dogs and stuff. So it's actually been really fun, which and we're thinking about once we get NurtraBaby running and growing really, and being able to add to the product line, we might start a different brand that revolves around this lifestyle. because we might actually be our best models.
There is a really lot of people who starts full-timing every day. I see it on Facebook. So yeah.
So we got our mini house, which we've had for like a month. Yeah.
I just feel that when we do the first step, the all steps just will come. But if we don't do it, then it might never happen.
Right.
Okay, cool. Scott, any more questions?
No, I mean, the only thing that I'm listening to is like what they've done so far, what you guys have done, which I think is awesome that you guys have gotten this far. I mean, you learned a ton through that process. I guess the question that just keeps coming to me is kind of like, you've had that time that you're doing the product research and you're doing all that stuff and you got your product, you're waiting for your product. I'm just kind of trying to think why you weren't planning and preparing more for your launch. Just because I think that's so important. And it seems like you were focusing so much on the one thing, but not thinking of the other. Maybe just relying on something like JumpSend, which is great. But I think that in your head, you got to be thinking about like, how do I launch this thing with a bang? And you know what I mean? Like, so that's the only thing that I'm questioning. And I'm also thinking like you're going to have 4 products going. How are you going to be able to maintain all that? So that's the only thing that I'm struggling with a little bit is, I mean, I think you guys are awesome. And I think what you guys are doing is great. And I think you guys will win here. But I just think you need to prioritize some of that stuff a little bit better and get focused on really getting those things ramped up. Because if you don't, you're going to have 4 products that you're like dabbling here, dabbling here, dabbling here. Get that mission, for that audience and to me, run with it, share that story and try to get some, like what I would have thought of right away. Go to someone on Instagram or on a YouTube channel that is already doing it and say, listen, I need pictures taken. I'm gonna ship this stuff to you guys, take pictures, yada, 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 and then get that stuff. And then they're going to review it. So that's what I would be doing. So I guess that's the only thing that I'm struggling with a little bit, Greg.
It's kind of one of those things where it's your first time and it's like, you don't know what you don't know yet. Right.
Yep.
But we're finding out a little more every day. And I think we expected just the giveaway to work, I guess, better than it did. And now we're saying, okay, it didn't maybe have the kind of momentum that we thought we were going to get.
Right.
So we got to start thinking about other stuff like that and looking for influencers. Also, the pictures, I think, will help the PPC. Sure. We're getting a lot of clicks, but they're not converting. Yep. And I think that has to do with the pictures aren't really salesy. They're just kind of photos of the product. Yeah. So that's what really I'm spending my whole entire weekend devoting to making some infographics, photos, kind of highlighting, and none of the photos, I think, highlight the real benefits of the product.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, they look great. It looks fashionable. It looks trendy, but they don't
see the baby,
unless they read the description, which sometimes people don't do. Sometimes they just look at the pictures, and the pictures don't really say, hey, we got vegan forks leather. We got magnetic buttons. We got travel, wipes holder. I think the pictures need to be really do a lot better work this weekend on getting those infographics and really highlighting the benefits.
Absolutely. That's the closest thing they're going to be able to touch that thing is that picture. So I think that's a really important thing. Yeah, Greg, that's all I got right now.
Well, Rob and Ivanka, thank you very much for coming on, giving us your pitch. I love what you guys are doing. I love that you guys got rid of all your stuff and hopped in an RV and are traveling around the US. That's pretty epic. It sounds like you have kind of like big plans ahead, which is very exciting. If I could give one piece of advice to you, I would actually mimic what Scott's saying here, that typically you like in a niche like this that's like fairly competitive, you have to be pretty aggressive with like your launches, just like Scott's saying. So my kind of advice to you is like, I think when people enter like niches like this and don't do well, it's usually because like they're not willing to kind of like give away enough units up front or like do like a big enough launch up front. And it is like a little bit of a scary thing for first time people launching products on Amazon, because it's like, man, I'm still losing money because I'm still giving away these things really cheap. Like, how much do I have to go in the hole before it starts doing well? But I guess like what I've found is like it always just works out better just to do like bigger up front. And just know that like maybe on the first shipment, you're not going to make any money. You don't make any money until the second shipment. But as a result, then you'll have like a listing that starts getting ranked well organically and is getting those organic sales. So that's something I'd be thinking about if I was you guys. So yeah, but thank you very much. Best of luck with NurtraBaby, and best of luck just traveling around and enjoing life.
Thank you, Greg.
Thank you.
It's very nice to meet you both. I'm so happy you guys were able to have us here. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Good luck to you.
Community, guys. Thank you.
Thanks for listening to the Go Pitch Win podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe and leave us an honest review over on iTunes. Do you have a new business that needs seed money or a new project that you're ready to get up and going? There's a $10,000 prize for the winning pitch. So what are you waiting for? Get your pitching skills ready and apply over at gopitchwin.com. Join us for the next episode to hear more great business ideas and, of course, find out who will win the grand prize to make their business dreams come true.